Welcome one and all to this 14th episode of D&D with me, Mike.
And me, Zoe.
And hopefully today we'll be able to finish the Groceries app. What we need to do today is actually send information to the internet. I've done some preparation in advance. There's no list to read. Well, apparently there is one. Where is that?
It's the old one that we sent.
It's loading the one for the saves. Never mind. Yeah, that doesn't matter. That's going to have to be completely overwritten. Yes, but I've done a bit of work in preparation. Number one, I have created a folder called PHP and put a PHP request in it, and we're going to open it soon. And number two, I have added a script called secret data, which has some information that the people on the other side don't need to know. But basically, it's our website where we are going to be keeping the list. That's the information contained. There's two strings, actually. One is the website, and one is where the request PHP is on the website.
Okay.
So, let's take a look at the request PHP. So, this is a completely different language. See, this indicates it's opening. I don't know what the question mark is, and I don't know if it's normal, but I don't think so. I mean, I think it's being added by Notepad++. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. If it won't work, it won't work. So, PHP is how you open it. Then you need to give it some headers. These are all for basically security and information to know how you're going to access the thing. And then you've got post, get, and options. These are internal functions. Post is the only one we're going to be using, I think. And you can use it to write data and read data. And there's various headers here again. There's going to be more as well, I think. But those are done on the other side. I'm not certain. Anyway, this $sign indicates this is a variable. So this is a variable you're receiving. And you're receiving it from post. I don't remember what this is. Bear in mind, I'm not an expert in this stuff, so I don't really do this very frequently. Anyway, don't know what this is. I can't remember. Now, here's just a question. If the text is not empty, right, that means we have received something. That means we want to update the list. Right, so we're going to say list updated. That's just sort of like debug log echo.
Okay.
Then we're going to open a file, fopen, and we're going to store it in a temporary variable called file. Daddylist.dat. Dat just stands for data. W means write. Then we're gonna fwrite, which means we're gonna write to the file. Which file? This file. What content? The text we received. And then we're gonna fclose the file. If instead we receive nothing, that means we want the information from the file. So we're gonna go and open that file in read mode, and we are going to debug log that we've read the thing, and then we're gonna close it. Well, I suppose this is actually a return as well. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's stored as bytes, so that's why there's the file size. Anyway, so that's what's contained in that file. Now that file is never gonna be read. We're keeping it here just because I don't know where else to keep it. Okay, it's actually located on our website at the moment.
Okay.
All right. Now, obviously, it's completely ignored. We need to start not ignoring it. Actually, I don't even know what that is, so I'm just gonna close it and open this instead. All right. We're gonna get the database to do all of that research, and I have stored for myself a couple lines of code so I can go and look at them when we go through this class. So, number one, what will we need? We'll need a string that is the list that we are downloading. Now, technically, we are already doing that when we read. We should probably do that in advance. But what we're going to need anyway is a coroutine, because the problem is when you read stuff from the internet, it takes time.
Okay.
So here you can add a private coroutine. You can call it core_weblist download.
Do we put all capitals usually?
Yeah. core_weblist download. Load semicolon. So as usual, we're going to do a start, a stop, and an enumerator here. Web list download. Yeah, open, close. Yeah, copy. Pasta. Oops, went too far down. And TOP. And just remove this and replace this with I enumerator.
Oops, wrong one.
TOR. Save. Okay, now usual if the coroutine exists.
Huh?
Not control, Zoe. Control and shift are very different keys. Yep. Copy. Stop. And quite stop. Open. Paste. Close. Paste equals null. Paste it here. Copy this. Paste it here. Open, close, round. Semicolon. Copy this. Open. Paste. Open, close. Close. Semicolon. Alright.
Don't we need to put an equals?
Oh yeah. Equals start coroutine. There it is. Save. Okay. So that's perfect. And we are going to copy some of these lines from here. So copy this and paste it here. So let's see. We're gonna create a Unity web request. Oh, it's crying. This must mean there's a particular library this is using. Oof, I don't know. Try Unity using. Oh boy, I forgot this. Unity engine. Okay, there it is. Dot. No idea. Networking. Save. Secret data web address. Okay, apparently it's not called web address, it's called web list address. Save. Alright, so is this the PHP file? I don't think so. Let's go to here actually. So save, but I'm not sure. Then we need to set some headers. Copy all of this, paste it here. Now I want you to observe something.
End if? What's that?
Yeah, so wait, I've copied one too many. Save. Okay, so if this is a directive, basically the code is not going to compile based on this situation. So right now we're in the Unity editor. If I do this, we're not in the Unity editor. This code doesn't even exist. It won't ever read. Right? So even if you have errors in it, it will not care.
Okay.
See? But then when you turn it on, it goes like, oi, what's this? Right? Now, I don't remember why I've added this. But basically, while you're in the Unity editor, it's doing this. This smells bad to me. I think what we're going to do is instead we're just going to comment it out completely and leave it there for now. Because this is old stuff, right? I don't remember. Now, copy all of this.
I thought you did this recently. This one.
Copy all of the, yeah, sure. But the fact that I've done something recently that it works, paste. It doesn't mean that I remember what the ins and outs are. Save. And then we're going to copy all of this and paste it here. Save. So www error, this means there can be an error in it. Now web list, we clearly don't have a string called web list. Now I'm a bit weirded out by this, but I think it'll be fine actually. Yeah, we have no access to the actual file itself. So let's web list, we're gonna create a public string. No, private is fine. Private string web list. There. And now it's being populated. Now I've turned these off. Let's leave them on. Save. Okay, and just for sport, we're gonna try and run this just to see what happens. Okay. So
how would we run it? Turn on your website and go
it's
there?
already there. Copy and paste, open, close round, semicolon, yeah, save, and let's see if we're getting our web list. We're not, because it's not there, but we should at least get the error. Boink, fail.
Yeah,
List wasn't found. But you notice it took a bit, right? So the list was not found. We don't have a list there. This means we actually need to push it. Now, this is just to read. It's not to write. So that's a problem. This is what's going to determine whether we write or not. So here, instead of download, hit Control R twice and call this one web list interaction. Yeah, hit enter. Then copy the word interaction. Control R twice. Pasta. Control R twice. Pasta. Control R twice. Pasta. Save. Okay. So that's how we're going to be sending this information or receiving it, depending on what we receive. So here you're going to put a string and go content, underscore content. Now request this as well here and copy this, paste it here and here. Save. And here we're going to say by default this is going to be empty. Save. So by default this is always a request as opposed to a push. So now we are going to try and push it for the first time. But we need to hook up all of the things. So there is a point in which we click a button which submits the list. What is it calling? A custom button. That's it. Daddy item to get, send item to continue. No, none of that. Submit, save list. That's the one, save list. So we're gonna make a local copy, just as we're doing, but we're also going to push it. So let's see, content. There's the content, there's the list name. Okay, here, this is not a template. This is the actual list. So here we're gonna say, copy this, paste it, open round, content. Close round, semicolon. So that's interesting because it's still going to be a bit different here. Send web request, because he is receiving theoretically stuff. So I don't know what's going to happen. We may get failed list wasn't found, but then the list is actually there. We'll see. It doesn't matter enormously because that's kind of our private debug stuff. Oh, right. So now it's going to complain, and that's fine. Then we're going to go to make a list, and then we're going to go to fruit and add apples and bananas, and make for 74 apples. Yes, for seven. I like 7 apparently. 7 apples, and then I'm going to add lettuce and
maybe broccoli,
potatoes, whatever, meats, chicken breasts, Ted, gug. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to submit this list.
Okay.
I still need to do something about that, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot to remind you.
Submit the list. Failed, list wasn't found. Now that may still be fine. Okay, now we're gonna stop the code and we're gonna read the code. List wasn't found again. Ooh, this may be a problem because I'm not an expert in this area to any degree. So yeah, see, this is a view of the website. Only you can see this. The people watching can't. And I only see the PHP file there. It's not being written, that file. So what do we do? I'm not that sure. I don't know what happened. So it's normal that the list wasn't found. That's like that it's not there, but the send request I thought would be sufficient. Oh, right. Wait. There's another problem. We are not currently set up as a web thing. But then again, no, that doesn't matter. We have no blockage of any kind. Let's try and remove these headers just to be sure. Save. and try again. I don't know, right? It's as simple as that. I don't know. So we may have to cut this short, and I may have actually to do it in private and then walk you through it. So that's normal. Make the list. Fruit, apples, bananas, vegetables, Ted. Sure. Add a poo. And chicken breast, submit. Failed, list wasn't found.
Stop the code started.
Paste. Start. Still list was not found. So I don't think the list is actually being sent correctly. Now let's take a look at our PHP code again. And here it says fopen. See? So perhaps it needs a file to be there. So let's do that instead. We're going to show this in Explorer. Open PHP. New. Text document. And rename it. Copy this. Paste. Yes. Now let's leave it exactly as it is, but we're going to upload it to the website.
Okay.
There. Now it's there. Now it should be able to read it, even though what it's going to get is empty. Now let's see at least if it reads it correctly. Failed. It could be that it hasn't updated yet. Nope, keeps not finding it. Okay. Well. Doesn't tell me anything at all, so I don't know why it failed or what happened. List wasn't found. Because I've tested this before, I know it works. That's not gonna change anything what I'm thinking about now, meaning changing the platform to web.
Maybe we should check your other code and see what you did.
I kinda can't. It's code that belongs to a client. I can do it offline, but not here.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why the list wasn't found. Yeah, so it's as simple as that. We're gonna have to unfortunately give up on this because I don't know. I'm just gonna have to keep tinkering with it until I get it right. So what we're gonna do for now is just do something different.
Let's change the outline
we
first.
had to fix that font. So let's. Oh, will you shut up? Okay, we're gonna change the font here, so it's not crazy, and we are going to also add a load latest list button there.
Okay.
Back to menu works. Okay, yeah, good. So let's begin canvas, hide the list, show groceries, select this button, duplicate this button, rename it to load latest. Button. Load latest. Yeah, load latest is fine. Save. Case space tab dot L. There. Colon enter break. Yeah, and so there's save list, and we're gonna have to have some kind of load list, and then we'll see. Anything else? Well, we are going to have to tell the app manager that button exists. So the groceries, there you go, discard. So copy this, paste, load latest, copy, Control F, paste, dot, yeah, setup button, copy, paste, latest, load, latest list, latest is kind of stupid. Previous. Save. Okay, so that'll work. Now what it's going to do is not going to be that obvious. That's going to be a bit more complicated to do. So we got a save list, and I don't think we have a load list, which by the way is going to have to use this as well later, but when I get it to work. But let's see. I can see a save submitted list. I don't see a load submitted. Yes, I do. Okay, so somebody else is calling this and it's getting the string and then it's passing it all over the place. Hit Control F to see who's loading the submitted list. Set up daddy list. Load submitted list. Dict daddy notes, add, etc. So it's doing all of this. Basically the same code we need, but I don't want to duplicate it. It's kind of a bit stupid to do that. But then again, it's also relatively normal. We should use the class that loads the templates. Which is where? Can't remember. Show, add category, get category, convert, get loaded database, save list, blah blah blah. I can't remember. We need to go and see. By the way, when we load a template, do we get a warning? I don't think so. Load template.
Null ref.
Null ref. Yeah, we forgot to assign. I'm sorry, that's our tradition. Don't you remember?
Oh, yes.
That's what we need to do absolutely every time. Load template. Still no ref. Interesting. Script request pop-up load saved list. Hey? I'm sorry, what? How is that a problem? In order for this to be failing, it means the pop-up manager doesn't exist. Oh, I see. Okay, that's funny. Thanks. Okay, so we can load PPPPP or I. Okay, so loading template works. Now let's find out what it does. So it goes to the pop-up, and then when you confirm the pop-up and choose something, so it's actually another button you're actually using for that, I think, which is load list template form list name. I mean, what a bit of a mouthful. All right, so we already had a separate thing. So if we give a string name that isn't right, perhaps we could utilize this. And I think we could. So we're going to load previous list. So name, Need to think. Because the problem is it takes time to load from the internet, so that particular coroutine needs to go. Yeah. Well, in the end of the day, that's a bit of a fallacy, because the person that will be doing this will load the file directly from their cookies. So
What does that mean, they're cookies?
that they're locally saved internet files.
Oh.
So that's not a problem. They don't need to actually go and get it from the internet the way we're doing for the daddy list. They are saving the daddy list already locally, so all we need to do is just go and open it unless they can't find it. That's a possibility as well. The name, that's get list template file name. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Copy loaded list, paste it here, save. That's all you need for now. And what we have to do is we need to check the name. So copy, if, open round, paste, equals, empty, close, open squiggle, and close, else, open, close. So cut this, paste, this only works when it's not empty, save. And then instead loaded list is going to have to go and pick up the information from the database as it's loading this list here. So load list template, it's in save manager, so it's just load submitted list. So copy this and load list equals loaded list loaded list, yeah, equals paste, semicolon, semicolon. Now copy this, paste it here, save. Okay, and hit Ctrl R twice and load list, say, yeah, from list name, save, copy, app manager dot script dot, yeah, dot script dot, paste, open round, the name is gonna be empty, so quote, close round, semicolon, there. And that should possibly work. Let's see. Let us see. Load previous list. Index out of range. Exception. Yeah, because there isn't even one. So loaded list, that's odd. Load submitted list. That it's not happening. I'm sure we're getting here, so go debug.log, open round, yeah, and copy, paste, close round, semicolon, cut, paste, save. I know why. It doesn't have a name. I know why. Yeah, see, it starts directly. It doesn't have a name, so it's loading correctly, save, but it doesn't have a name. Name and content. So name and content. Yeah, here you're gonna say if, open round, copy, paste, dot length, higher than 0, then 1, higher than 1, close round, open squiggle, hit enter twice, close, cut, paste, else, open and close, cut this, paste here, save, semicolon, copy, paste, cut, paste. Save. Copy, paste, 0, save. And that should do it. Save. And that should fix it. So everything is actually working here. Hopefully. There you go. So that's the last list that we have saved. Load previous list. So that's all good. Right, now these font thingies.
And then maybe we should just go to the rag edit and delete Ted and Bahud.
Yeah, we could do that, and then we'll call it for tonight because
because we have some problems.
Yes. Text editors title, we can leave that alone. Item. That's what interests us. So you can see that the text inside here, here is black.
We removed the outline, that's what made it.
Yeah, I know. But for that, we would like a different material possibly. So what we're going to do is, how do you do that again? I think here, create material preset, there, and rename this one to no outline. Yeah, hit enter, and text, and now no outline is an option. I'm a bit worried because I think every other one is now gonna be like that. I'm not sure, but let's test. That's my bet, actually. So if we go to categories, for example, right? Categories. Oh no, never mind. It's outline. So it only did it on the prefab, which is good. So here's the text, no outline. Now we can change the no outline to no thickness and no dilate.
It has disappeared.
Rather 0 on dilate, and the text is black. Okay, let's test. Make the list. Fruit. Oh, just load previous, and that's pretty good. It's a bit difficult to read. It's a bit difficult to read. Whatever, it's fine like this.
And now the categories.
No, no, I'm not happy. Wait. Let's dilate it a bit. Whoa, 1 is far too much. 0.2. Try that. It's basically a bolding. There, I think that's much better. Now let's deal with the titles. The titles. Oh, no, list category. Aha, that's the one. Yeah, it doesn't have a width or whatever. There we go. Let's give it 300. Whoa, that's close. 300, 200. There, just so we can see it. And text title, we are going to change to no outline. That's it. Because it's a title, I think we should probably also change its color to dark red or something. There.
Ta-da! That looks much better.
It looks much more readable for show. Back to menu, read the list. Okay, and that's still doing its job. Bananas, garlic, celery, etc. Yep, everything's working perfectly from this perspective. Is there anything else we need to do? Right. Reg edit. Yes. Okay, so list template. Delete. List template. Delete. Groceries database. Delete. Daddy list. Delete. Just delete everything. Make the list. Fruit. Load template. Nothing to load. Click away. Items are missing. And there's only these categories. So everything's fine at the moment. If we submit, by the way, and if we load the previous list, oh, interesting. So if it's empty, it's not doing it or something. So we got the groceries database. We do have a daddy list that's empty. Hey?
We submitted it.
What? Excuse me? Okay. Oh! I didn't even notice. So I'm doing that instead. Let's see. There's daddy list and it's empty. Okay. Good. So that's fine. It's saving an empty list, loading an empty list. Not particularly clever, really, that it's loading. You're filling the list and go load the previous. Oh. But it's fine. Because, I mean, clear list is actually... oh, look at... we found one problem. Clear list. Load previous list. These don't get updated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So index out of range. Oh, right, because it's actually empty. The list can actually be empty. So let's see. Separated content. I'm gonna here just go if separated. Yeah, if separated categories. Yeah. no, that's not good. Separated categories is a split. And that's not good. Save. Copy. If open round, paste. 0 equals empty. Close round, open squiggle, hit enter, close, return. Semicolon. So don't do the thing. And it's not gonna warn you, it's not gonna do anything, it's just not gonna do it. Let's actually non-maximize it so we can read the errors immediately, much more easily. Good. So that's working just fine. Now there's still another problem, which is if you do this.
Those don't reset.
That's right. They do not reset. By the way, clear grocery, etc. Cut this. Put it here. And save. So basically, if it doesn't work, it's at least not going to destroy your stuff. So let's see here. See? All right, now it still doesn't clean those out when it loads a valid list, and there's a reason for it. I'm sure that the pop-up manager is gonna tell us what's happened. Save list name, save list, etc. No, it's not this guy, it's this guy. So here it goes, load saved list, request pop-up, load, etc. And then when it loads a list, where in the world are you? Where are you? Dang it, we saw it before. So load latest load list from thing. There it is, thanks. Request pop-up none. Load list from list name. So and that's why I thought that this would actually be sufficient. Update grocery list display. So theoretically it's doing it. Okay, so no, it's probably working actually. Yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save one with apples and bananas and garlic. Save. Okay, now I'm gonna go to fruit and add a few things, and then I'm gonna go load previous list, and it's worked. Yeah, it wasn't working because it was crashing. On curiosity.
Good, you could just stayed.
Yes, that's expected.
Yes.
Now it shouldn't be there.
Which it isn't.
And now it will be. Good. So all of this is working fantastically well. All right, this is part 2 of the same episode. Zoe is here with me, but this time I'm in front of the computer. I couldn't let it go that I didn't get it to work. Now I got it to work, and I'm going to show you what I've done. So this is exactly the same as before. This is exactly the same as before. In the secret data that I can't show, I've put 2 websites for 2 PHP files that I've actually created, and they're quite different, and I'm going to show you them. I've created the receive PHP file, which is tiny. It receives a variable called content using the inbuilt function that I wasn't aware of before called file get contents. So this one basically reads a file and gets whatever is inside it. Which file? A file that's there called daddylist.txt. We're actually going to change it to dot. And I'm going to keep dot. I just prefer this. It should deter silly folks who have no idea. So let's take send and receive, send them to the website. This is just done on the other screen real quick. Overwrite and overwrite. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to delete both of the daddy lists from there. There we go. So on the website presently, the only 2 files that exist are receive and send. So receive opens daddylist.dat. Well, takes daddylist.dat, reads its content and spits it out. Echo. That returns it, right? Send PHP is a bit different, a bit more complicated. First of all, it reads the file. Well, it takes the file. Second, it gets the new content from the outside. Now I know what this means and I'll explain it to you in a bit, but basically post is the function and this is the variable you're going to change. It's sort of like an instruction. Okay. This instruction we need to remember because we need to be able to use it. Actually, this is kind of unnecessary now. Yeah, new content key. I'm gonna have to re-upload this to the website. Let's do it right now because I've changed it. So send PHP, boop. Bajing, should be done. Back to here. No, here. No, here. Okay. So new content receives the content from the outside. It's also a variable. And then file put contents is an inbuilt function. In what file? That's the file variable. What content? That's the content variable. And then we just get a message that tells us upload successful. You've received the new. You've sent the new content. So now you'll see that when we hit play,
it ideally doesn't have an error.
Yeah. Well, downloaded. BR break. So it says downloaded and line break and says warning, file get contents daddy list that failed to open on stream, no such file or directory. That's normal. On our website there isn't that file at the moment. So I'm going to go to make the list. I'm going to select vegetables, broccoli and lettuce, fruit, limes and pears. Add limes, we want 5 limes, submit. Upload successful. Fruit, lime, 5 pears, vegetables, broccoli, lettuce, etc. I actually wonder if the database, no, the database still has the wrong file. That's interesting. We need to feed it to this as well. Well, no problem. Anyway, so there it is. So now if we stop the code and hit play, downloaded fruit, limes, pears, etc. And you'll see here if I reload the page, daddy list out, that has been created and it contains this information. Now we've received it. Now we can parse it like we would anything else.
Okay.
Right, so let's see. Number one, we said one thing we want to do is we want to also to send it, so to immediately save it as the web list. So we're going to say web list equals content. So that's it. So we've saved it, so we can load it whenever we want to, and it now exists. There should be maybe no safety of any kind. So let's see here. Now when we load into our list and we set up the daddy list and we go load submitted list. So when we load the submitted list, here we say loaded list is save manager load submitted list, right? Mm-hmm. That's not what we want to do anymore. So this is just going to be some kind of safety. I don't think there's anything in particular we need to do other than go to the database and web list. And that's it. So we're going to comment this out and say database script web list. That's it. Load submitted list.
Okay.
So when we now open the groceries app, press play, read the list. There you go. Mm-hmm. This comes straight from the internet, right? So there's no need to do anything. So if we now stop the application, go make the list and go apples, bananas, oranges, if cheap, and then vegetables, lettuce, 2, and zucchini, and meats, we're just gonna say chicken breasts. We're gonna save as template, standard, okay, load template standard, okay, submit the list, okay, let's clear the list, clear it, load the previous list, works, back to menu, read the list, works,
yep,
launch again, read the list, works. Now the reason why this works like this is because I'm downloading that immediately. There could actually be a small problem, like for example if I'm too quick. I wasn't quick enough, but it's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing we should probably do is disallow clicking on those buttons for a bit. So let's do that right away. We are going to create a boolean in the database that's going to be public. Public bool loading reading from the web, something like that. Okay, and we're gonna say that when this starts reading from the web, it becomes true.
Okay.
And when this ends reading from the web, it becomes false. Actually, tell you what, let's stop makes it reading from the web becomes false, and at the end we are going to call stop right here. Okay, so there we go. So that's done, and now all we gotta do is check for that stuff, and we should probably add a message inside our main screen. So let's do that as well. Hide this, show this. Let's hide the pop-ups temporarily. Remember, we need to show them again. And what do we got here in main? There's title and there's container. Does main have a vertical layer group? It does, so that simplifies things a little bit. We're gonna duplicate title. We're gonna put a status, and we're gonna make it smaller. Doesn't seem to be to have a layout group. This one doesn't also, and this one doesn't also. Interesting. Yeah, that's fine. We're just gonna leave it like this at this point, and let's go to the app manager. Create a new variable for that text. Assuming the app manager deals with that stuff. I think so. Custom. Where is that title? Oh, maybe the title is never modified at all. Huh, that's possible. Do we use TextMesh Pro? We do. Oh, apparently there is at least one. Do you see it? TextMesh Pro. Current document. There it is. Apparently we do it on the fly. Whatever. Let's add it. Structure list. So we're gonna say serialize field, private field, private TextMesh Pro UGUI TM status default. And whenever we enter the list, whenever we start the game, we are going to create a small method for this. So public void set title status text, and TM status. We're actually going to check if this game object is active, because if it's not active, there's no point updating it. So if it's active, we're going to say set text, and here we're going to request a string content, and we're going to set text content, and that's as simple as that. Now, one more thing that we also need to do is we need to block those two buttons, right? So we're going to say bool buttons on off, right? And all of this actually should happen only if we are in the game state or app state. What do we call it? Is there a state? Yeah. Switch app state. This is only if we are in main. Everywhere else doesn't matter. At this point, this condition is unnecessary. So the text becomes the content and the two buttons. Now, I'm just gonna go find them because I can't remember. There's template spacer. Where are the buttons? Oh, now I understand why this is in the wrong place, because we need to go to main. So make the list button and read the list button. Read list button, set up button, and it's gonna be button function, make the list, and string ID. Oh dear, I can't remember. We need to go find it, but I think it's probably here. Update edit list. No. Huh. Load submitted test. A list rather. Where are the buttons? I don't know. So let's look for this. It's gotta be somewhere. Setup main buttons. Okay, so let's just copy this. It'll be easy. Buttons, make the list, and we say interactive is going to be equal to buttons on off. And the same goes for this, so that the buttons will be off until we get the instructions to turn them on. I'm a bit worried now at this point by this, but I think we are going to be completely rid of it, and you'll see how. So there we go. Is there anything else? I don't think so. All right, so now the database knows when it can start and when it cannot start. So this is gonna be game manager script, app manager script, and we have this thing, set title status text. Well, I suppose let's change it later to set title status. So this is, it's stopped. This means nothing actually. Let's leave that alone. But here we can say set title status text, list downloaded successfully, and instead we need to check if web list is empty. So it was a bit different than that. It was a proper error message saying that the thing didn't exist. So that's not brilliant, is it? Okay, well, download, let's go with download complete. Download complete, right? And we're gonna say true, so all the buttons turn on. Download complete, true. What do you not like? Vice versa. True, download complete. Okay, and this one we're also gonna put it right here. I don't know why I cut it, because I'm a potato. So download complete, and here instead we're gonna say upload complete. Even though this will never happen, but that's okay. And right here at the beginning we're going to say false, and we're loading. There, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Loading, etc. So whenever that starts, these lines should disappear. Now, the concern that I've got is that this will overwrite the other one. Now let's see when setup main button happens. So it happens in change state. Now change state here, but the problem is that loading happens earlier in the database thing in awake, and that's kind of an issue. So we need to only make that change if reading from the web is false. Okay, so here we're gonna say if database script not reading from the web, then we can do this. This effectively makes this never happen, practically speaking, I think. But anyway, that's okay. So let's hit play now. Okay, so we got a null ref. All right, that makes perfect sense. It's our old tradition. our ancient tradition of forgetting
to assign
things, because that's absolutely necessary. So that, and we also forgot to turn on the pop-ups. There we go. All right, let's see. We got another null ref. So the only possible thing here is that App Manager hasn't been loaded yet in the order of the scripts yet. So edit, project settings, script execution order. Yeah, so that's sort of self-managed. I'll tell you what, we'll fix that very easily. what we're going to do is instead of having this in awake, we're going to have it in void start. And we're going to say start web list interaction routine. Whoopsie daisies. There. Let's see if this fixes it. It could. Yeah, so you notice it was green for a bit? It was grayed out for a bit? Check out the buttons. Pay close attention. See?
Yeah.
They were grayed out and not clickable. Let's quickly try. I couldn't until I could, right? That's the point, because that way I cannot go and do the thing. The only issue is that make the list would be inaccessible, and that seems weird to me. So we are just going to modify one button, not the other. So ignore this one and read the list will be grayed out.
Mm-hmm.
So there. If the connection is slower for whatever reason, etc., etc., it'll become interactive later. So it says download complete. Back to menu still says download complete, because when you go back to the menu, it doesn't reload the list, and that's just fine. So if you load the previous list, there, it's picked it up. Now, this is not picking it up from the internet anymore. It's picking it up from this file, which was picked up from the internet when we loaded the app.
Okay.
Okay, so that basically concludes our entire series. Everything is working. I mean, we're going to build it for the web now and etc. There may be some updates to the series later if we decide to put it on the actual mobile as an app on mobile for ourselves to use. I don't think we'll do that, assuming it works okay on the web. But there you go. We are done with the series. So we did about 1 hour in the end of the day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you around. Bye.
Bye.